pleased to be joined by Paul Madden, assistant to Brendan Walsh, trainer of Risen Star Morning Line favorite, East Avenue. Paul, East Avenue, first 2 races last year, ultra impressive, including a smashing 5+ length win in the Breeders' Futurity. Nothing went right in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile when he stumbled out of the rail post. He returned to the work tab in early January, has, I think, 4 consecutive 5-furlong works in advance of his first start back this year. Tell us how he's been coming along. What have you seen as far as his development over the winter?
Yeah, everything's been good. He had an easy time after the Breeders' Cup, which, is a race obviously we'll try and draw a line through. And he was down here and galloped away for a while, and Brendan wanted to get 6 works into him, which he has, and weather has cooperated. We had to alter a day or so either way, from typically going 7 to 6 to sometimes 8, but it's been great. He's had some, my experience with being lucky enough to be around some good horses that they set, they never really work bad, and some works are exceptional, and there has been 1 or 2 of them, so it appears that he has progressed from 2 to 3, but 6:30 tomorrow evening will tell us that.
You guys were glad to avoid the rail post. He's going to drew post 4, maybe. Yes,
perfect post. Yeah, I mean it's there's, I think, there 12 runners in the race or something like that. But yeah, I mean he's got a perfect post, and I think if he gets a clean trip into the first turn, I mean it's hopefully no excuses, and it'll tell us a lot. It's step 1 of hopefully a busy campaign.
He broke so smoothly in the Breeders' Futurity, broke right on top when went right to the lead in his first 2 wins. You expect him to carry that speed forward as a 3-year-old?
I mean, I think it's a typical scenario of a first-time start. You want to hustle him away from the gate, and then the second race in the Futurity, obviously the favourite was drawn on the inside, so the plan was maybe to get ahead of him, but I don't know. I mean, obviously that's something Brendan and Tyler will have talked in depth about. I don't necessarily think he needs to be on the lead, but in a dirt race, I think forwardly place is typically the best place to be. But I think it's kind of see how it goes. To be honest, it's not something that Brendan has spoke to me about yet. But I'm sure him and Tyler have talked about it in depth. And yeah, I think it's like any race, especially on a dirt race. It's break dictates a lot.
Right.
It dictates a lot of what's going to happen. So I think that's pretty much how it'll play out. Would be my guess.
I wanted to ask you about a couple other horses you guys got in tomorrow. In race number 2, Pretty Sassy, really impressive, 7.5 length maiden winner last time out. Half sister to champion 3-year-old filly, Pretty Mischievous. You see how's she coming along into her first allowance start, and do you see any similarities between her and her sister?
I mean, she's maybe not as precocious as her sister, but a filly that she's kind of bigger and taller, and Brendan always felt it should be, a real nice 3-year-old, but she has done very well from her win, her maiden win. So it'll be interesting to see how she runs. It looks a very competitive race. She obviously drew the rail, but it's a small field. But her works appear, and how she's done since her maiden win has appeared that she has improved, which typically they need to from a maiden to an allowance win. So it'll be interesting to see. But the team are very excited, Godolphin and Brendan are all about another step and see how she's progressed.
Race 4 is a maiden special weight, and you guys have Spying, really cool name, and she's a well-bred daughter of gunrunner for Qatar Racing. How excited are you to see her get her career going?
Her works have been good as well. She's probably a filly that might want to stretch out in time, but I mean she's done really well. Another one, you're just kind of anxious to put in the gate and see how she does. But another filly that acts like she's got some run in her, So it'll be exciting to see, race days tells you a lot,
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Paul, for joining us. All the best on Risen Star Day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jen.